it's Niki's Let's Draw Journey to Mastery. I'm Niki, and today we're going to be doing Orange Power. Let's jump into it. So, today's painting, Orange Power, was actually done in Procreate on my new iPad. So, I got a new iPad recently, and I'm so loving it. It's really great. It's like an 11-inch iPad. At first I was like, oh, I should have gotten the 12.9, but I'm really happy with the 11-inch, and I'm mostly happy with the fact that I can now use Procreate. When I just got it, I was watching so many tutorials because I wanted to learn how to use everything on it, because I wanted to very quickly figure out a way to adapt my drawing style from Paint Tool SAI and Photoshop to Procreate, and find brushes that I really liked, and rendering brushes, for blending, sketching, everything. And at first I was a little bit sad because I couldn't figure out how to get a good blending brush, but I did eventually figure out one, and I can't remember this tutorial I found it from, but I found it while watching the official Procreate tutorial list. It's like a list of 58 videos. And I went through every single one of them. And one of them was teaching about the wet something. I can't remember what it's called now. On Procreate, it's wet something, basically for water brushes. And I basically made a water brush like I use in Paint Tool SAI. And Paint Tool SAI, it's a water brush too. So it's kind of like a water brush in Procreate, but it has a little texture to it. So it's a texture shape and texture edges. It's like two different tabs that I changed, and they had texture to it. I tried to make one without the texture so I could have a smoother blend, but it wasn't working very well. I need to do some more research into the brushes a bit. But that all being said, I did basically get what I wanted in terms of something similar to my current style in Paint Tool SAI on Procreate. So I've been working on a different piece previously to practice all of this, and then for stream I just randomly was like, let's use my iPad today. And I started this piece. So she's totally random. I did use Pinterest refs as inspiration. Still, I used Pinterest ref for her pose and some of the skin tone and lighting. So two different pictures. And I kind of went crazy with the hair color. I was like, I want to do orange. I don't want it to be bright orange. So I did this neon orange hair. I really like it. It's cool. I think of all the parts of this, the rendering parts of this, I think the hair was the best part. It came out the most like my style in Paint Tool SAI. I was really, really, really happy with it. I also like how the eyes came out too, and the lips, I'm getting better at doing the lips on Procreate. I'm not 100% happy with the render brush that I have for painting the skin. I still haven't figured it out quite yet to the level that I want it to be. I mean, that being said, it's not bad. I think I could have chosen maybe better colors. I think I didn't do enough variation in the skin tones. I'm looking at the video now. I feel like I could have added more red, which I do later. I do that after the fact. I use some of the hue saturation features, like how you can paint with I think I tested it. I don't know if I actually used it in the end. How you can paint with a brush with the hue saturation changes you make, which I think is a really cool feature. So you can paint in the areas you want it to be and change it up afterwards, which is really cool. But I think I eventually just settle on using an overlay layer and painting on top to change the colors a bit, and adding red in the nose. I think there's a little red there right now, and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, it was a bit of a struggle painting the skin because of that, but other than that, it wasn't bad at all. It was a lot of fun. I think my favorite thing about painting in Procreate is I can rotate the screen so easily. I can just like, and it's so quick and easy. So you find as you're looking at this, I'm rotating constantly. I'm constantly shifting the angle of this piece, because as I'm moving around, zooming in and out, it's so easy. I think there is one issue that I have. I think it has something to do with my screen protector. So when I was looking at the tutorials, there was a suggestion to get a paper feel screen protector, or Paperlike or something like that. I think I got something called Paper Feel, which is not the same, but it's basically the same idea, where it has like a texture to it, so it feels like you're drawing on paper. It really is like that, and I do think what they said they meant for the thing to do, it does. However, I found that after I applied it, I have had more trouble with the sensitivity of my fingers on it rotating the page. So when I'm trying to rotate, it's not picking up my fingers immediately. Sometimes I have to do it multiple times before it actually senses my fingers. So I did find that quite annoying, and it came up quite a bit while I was on stream, but it wasn't so bad that it was debilitating. So I was fine with it. I think I was really, really happy with how this eye came out, and painting eyelashes worked really well in this as well. I'm very happy with this brush. I found my favorite brush that I use in Paint Tool Sai. My favorite brush in Paint Tool Sai is basically has like a low opacity, not super low, like maybe 50% or around there, 45 I think. It tapers, and it has kind of a softish edge to it, so it's not hard edged. And that's what I use to do pretty much almost everything, all my basic stuff in my painting process. I use it for adding layers of colors that I later blend when I'm after I do the blocking phase, that is. I use it for adding eyelashes, I use it for the eyebrows, I use it for strands of hair, I use it for so many things, and it's like my end-all be-all brush. I love it. So I was very, very happy that I was able to achieve the same level of accuracy in the type of brush on Procreate. I was so happy. I also found a very good version of the pen tool in Paint Tool Sai. So Paint Tool Sai has, smoothing, and Procreate pretty much has smoothing, but I think it's called streamlining. And it does pretty much the same thing. And so I was able to get a pen tool. They have a lot of inking pens, but some of them were like rough edges, or the edges were too sharp, like pixely sharp. So I had to kind of search around until I found one that was good, and then I kind of messed with the settings a little bit to fit my needs. But I did eventually get one that was perfect. And for the hair, I was so happy to find a brush for painting the hair in Paint Tool Sai. They have actually like 3 hair brushes that like with varying levels of detail for the strands, so you can do a lot. I settled on just one of them. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was one of the simpler ones, or one of the more it's not as random, the streaks in it. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like fine hair or something like that. But I used that to do all the blending of the highlights and shadows, and then afterwards, as my normal process goes, I use my favorite single, low opacity soft edge brush to do the hair strands. Yeah, so it came out really, really good. I was so happy with the hair. The hair made me the most happy in the result of it. Painting the clothes was not as fun. The lips came out nice in the end. Like, I'm looking at the final thing, and I do really like the lips. Especially, I added this saturation to like the highlight, a little bit saturated around the highlight. And I thought that looked really, really good afterwards. I didn't really think that it would make such a difference, but it did. So I was really, really happy that I was able to do that in Procreate. I'm so happy with Procreate. I'm glad that I bought this iPad. I've wanted a new iPad because I've had an iPad before. I had an iPad Air, but iPad Air doesn't work with the Apple Pencil. In fact, it doesn't really work with many drawing pencils at all. So it wasn't gonna work at all. So I had to get an iPad Pro. So I'm really happy I was able to get an iPad Pro and make this painting. But anyways, here are the close-ups. But yeah, this is it. The final piece, I love it so much. It's a little out there and some of the colors don't really work together perfectly, but it was, as a first complete piece on Procreate in a short amount of time that I wasn't, you know, messing around with brushes to try and figure things out, I think it came out really good. So I'm very happy with it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very nice. It was very fun to make it. And I look forward to seeing your comments down below. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye!